Overcoming emotional attachment. A Stoic approach. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the burden of emotional attachment, feeling trapped in a cycle that seems impossible to break? You're not alone. Many people experience the struggle of letting go, feeling powerless and stuck in their emotions. But here's the silver lining. Change is not only possible, but well within your reach. Inspired by the timeless wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, this video will reveal 10 powerful Stoic rules to help you emotionally detach from someone. The power of detachment. Why is detachment so transformative? As Seneca wisely said, "He who is brave is free." Detachment doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means finding strength and clarity within yourself. In this video, we will explore profound Stoic principles that guide you on a journey toward emotional freedom. By integrating these habits into your daily life, you will discover practical and healthy strategies to loosen the grip of emotional attachment, allowing you to reclaim your peace of mind and focus on what truly matters. Imagine saying goodbye to the mental shackles that bind you and embracing a newfound sense of clarity and focus. The teachings of Stoicism will empower you to navigate your emotions with resilience and wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By applying these teachings, you will learn to prioritize your inner peace over external circumstances. Embracing personal growth. Are you ready to break free from the chains of emotional attachment and embrace the power of personal growth? If so, this video is for you. We will guide you through 10 Stoic habits that will transform your approach to emotional detachment. Let's begin by asking ourselves what truly holds value in our lives, if not the peace within our minds. Join us as we explore these rules, paving the way toward a liberated Stoic mindset. Join the journey. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit the subscribe button and join our community for more insightful content. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. If you're not sure what to say, just type "Emotional freedom starts now." Let's dive in and begin this journey of emotional liberation together. Rule number 1. The power of detachment. Have you ever felt like your emotions were controlled by someone else, as if you were a puppet and they were pulling the strings? Have you ever realized just how much power you've given to others because of your attachments? This is where the power of detachment becomes crucial. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start living a life where your peace and happiness aren't dictated by external circumstances. Why is detachment so transformative? Let's consider the wisdom of Epictetus, who said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Detachment is about reclaiming your power. It's about understanding that while you cannot control external events, you can control your response to them. Think about it. When we cling too tightly to people or situations, they begin to control us. It's like giving someone else the remote to your feelings, allowing them to change the channel whenever they want. Their influence can dictate your happiness, your sadness, and in extreme cases, drive you to make irreversible decisions. Detachment is about reclaiming that remote and deciding for yourself which channels to watch. Imagine your emotions are like a kite. Each string attached to something or someone represents a potential direction your emotions can be pulled. If you hold on to too many strings or one too tightly, you're at the mercy of the wind. Stoicism teaches us to loosen our grip, to understand that while we can't control the wind, we can decide which strings to hold. This approach doesn't make you cold or indifferent. It makes you grounded and resilient. Let's get practical. Start by identifying what or who you're overly attached to. Next, ask yourself why. Are you seeking validation, afraid of loneliness, or something else? Understanding the root of your attachment is the first step in loosening its grip. Now engage in activities that fill you with a sense of purpose and satisfaction. By focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't, you begin to anchor yourself in your own strength and values. As you embrace detachment, you start to see the world differently. You recognize that your worth is not tied to external circumstances, but is intrinsic and unwavering. This realization empowers you to move forward with clarity and confidence, free from the mental shackles of attachment. Remember, as Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." By practicing detachment, you are not withdrawing from life, but engaging with it more fully, with a clear mind and a steady heart. Rule number 2. Understanding attachment. Have you ever wondered why we hold on so tightly to certain people or situations, even when it brings us pain? What drives this need to cling, and how can we break free from it? Grasping the concept of attachment is a crucial step in achieving emotional detachment and personal freedom. Let's explore this idea, guided by the wisdom of the Stoic philosophers. At its heart, attachment is tied to our ego. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once remarked, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This insight underscores the nature of attachment, our desires and perceived needs. When we're attached to something or someone, we often act from a place of ego, seeking validation, security, or identity from external sources. Think of a newborn baby full of joy and untouched by the complexities of ego. As we grow, our ego takes the wheel, filling our lives with attachments. These attachments, whether to people, objects, or ideals, cloud our judgment and distract us from our true essence, love and self-contentment. Have you ever felt that your happiness depends on another person's approval or presence? This is a clear indication of ego-driven attachment. To start untangling ourselves from these attachments, we must first recognize them for what they are. Products of our ego, seeking security and validation. Ask yourself, why am I so attached to this person or outcome? What fear or desire is driving this attachment? Understanding the root of your attachment is the first step in loosening its grip. Now, imagine living a life from a place of love rather than ego. What if you could trust in the abundance of the universe, believing that what's meant for you will find its way? This shift in mindset is powerful. It's about recognizing your inherent worth and capabilities, independent of external factors. As you begin to view your desires and connections through this lens, you'll start to see the unnecessary weight they add to your life. Embracing the concept of abundance is essential. When you let go of the fear of loss, the universe often rewards you with more than what you let go of. Detachment doesn't mean you care less. It means you understand better. It means staying true to your essence and letting love guide you rather than fear. The journey towards detachment is transformative. It's about shedding layers of ego to uncover the resilient, love-filled soul beneath. It's about moving forward with lightness, free from the burdens of attachment and ready to welcome new blessings with open arms and a steadfast heart. By prioritizing your inner peace over external validation, you pave the way for a life of true emotional freedom and fulfillment. Rule number 3. The illusion of control. Have you ever felt that your happiness hinged on someone else's actions or validation? Do you sometimes believe that if you just try hard enough, you can control the outcomes of your relationships and emotions? This is a common misconception. The illusion of control. Understanding and dismantling this illusion is crucial for emotional detachment and personal freedom. Our ego often tricks us into thinking that we can control external events and other people's reactions. This illusion leads us to place undue importance on how others perceive us, resulting in emotional clinginess and dependence. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This saying highlights a fundamental Stoic principle. While we cannot control external events, we can control our responses to them. When we cling to the illusion of control, we may find ourselves idolizing individuals and placing them on pedestals, believing that our worth is tied to their approval. This mindset creates a distorted sense of reality, where our happiness and self-worth depend on factors beyond our control. It's essential to recognize that trying to control everything around us only leads to frustration and disappointment. Instead, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, actions, and reactions. To break free from this illusion, start by acknowledging that you have power over your responses, not over the events themselves. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness to observe your thoughts and reactions without judgment. By doing so, you can detach from the need to control and instead embrace the flow of life with grace and acceptance. Remember, true freedom comes from within, not from controlling the external world. Our perception of reality often leads us to see others as possessing something unattainable. Yet when we strip away these illusions, we realize that everyone is equally human and equally vulnerable. No one holds a special ticket that makes them inherently superior or more worthy. To dismantle this illusion, start by acknowledging that much of what we believe we can control is, in fact, beyond our influence. This realization can be both humbling and liberating. Accepting that we cannot control others' actions or feelings allows us to focus on what we can control: our own thoughts, reactions, and personal growth. By turning our focus inward, we build self-confidence and resilience. For example, instead of seeking validation from others, practice self-affirmation. Regularly remind yourself of your unique strengths and qualities. Understand that your value does not depend on someone else's perception. This aligns with a Stoic teaching from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Embracing an abundance mindset is another effective strategy. Recognize that the universe is vast, with plenty of love, success, and happiness to go around. When you stop fearing the loss of one particular person or outcome, you open yourself to a world of new possibilities and opportunities. In relationships, this understanding allows you to love freely without desperate attachment. It empowers you to appreciate connections while maintaining your sense of self-worth and independence. Remember, practicing emotional detachment is not about becoming indifferent. It's about recognizing that your completeness does not rely on anyone else's presence. By internalizing these Stoic principles, you cultivate profound emotional strength, preparing you to face life's uncertainties with grace. Shed the illusion of control and embrace the liberating truth that true power lies within your own mind. Rule number 4: detachment in practice. Have you ever clung to past experiences or relationships, unable to let go, and wondered what might happen if you did? It's a common struggle, holding on to something so tightly it hurts, yet feeling too afraid to release it. But what if letting go could lead to something even better? Let's explore how to put detachment into practice, guided by Stoic wisdom. As Epictetus wisely said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This principle perfectly applies to emotional attachment. Are you ready to release the grip of the past and open up to new possibilities? Imagine you're holding onto a rope so tightly that your hands start to ache. You're scared to let go because you don't know what will happen if you do. The truth is, letting go doesn't mean you'll fall. Sometimes it means you can finally stretch your hands and reach out for something even better. I learned this the hard way when I clung to a comfortable relationship because it felt safe, not realizing I was shutting the door on potential happiness that was knocking on my door. How many times have you done the same, afraid to let go of the familiar for fear of the unknown? Here's another truth. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, is a trap. It's like watching everyone else's highlight reel on social media and feeling like you're missing out on life. But remember, social media is a curated, filtered snapshot meant to showcase perfect moments. Once I stopped scrolling through everyone else's stories and started living my own, FOMO lost its grip on me. Do you find yourself constantly comparing your life to others? It's time to break free from that cycle. Not knowing every detail of someone else's life doesn't mean you're missing out. It means you're fully present in your own life, creating memorable moments that belong to you and you alone. Attachment to an idealized image of happiness can make letting go seem impossible. You see others living their best lives and fear that you're falling behind. But remember, the grass always looks greener from a distance. Up close, it has its share of brown patches too. Creating an illusion of perfection in someone else's life steals joy from your own. It's like running on a treadmill, trying to catch up to a hologram. No matter how fast you go, you'll never reach it because it's not real. Detachment isn't about giving up happiness. It's about defining it on your own terms. To emotionally detach, focus on what's within your control, your thoughts, actions, and growth. It's empowering to realize that no one's opinion, no past relationship, and not even a curated life on social media has the power to define your worth or happiness. This realization is your armor, allowing you to move forward unburdened by unnecessary attachments, ready to experience life's unpredictability and open to the genuine, fulfilling connections waiting just around the corner. Remember, letting go isn't an end. It's a bold step toward the life you truly deserve. Rule number 5. The path to happiness. Have you ever wondered why true happiness often feels just out of reach, dependent on others or external circumstances? What if the secret to lasting happiness lies within you, independent of anyone else? In this discussion, we'll explore the Stoic approach to happiness and how emotional detachment can lead to a deeper, more enduring joy. So, where does true value come from? Answering this question can help us move away from unnecessary attachments and toward emotional freedom. As Epictetus wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This insight encourages us to look inward rather than outward for our sense of worth and happiness. This understanding is particularly important when it comes to detaching from someone. It's not about severing ties with bitterness or indifference, but about recognizing that the deepest companionship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. True value comes from within, your character, your wisdom, and how you treat others. How often do we mistakenly believe that our happiness depends on someone else's presence in our lives, that our worth rises with their approval or falls with their neglect? This mindset limits our potential, tying our happiness to the whims of others. Imagine a bird believing it needs permission to fly. This belief confines our emotional freedom. Now, imagine realizing that the sky has always been open, waiting for you to spread your wings on your own terms. This self-reliance is liberating, teaching us that our value doesn't depend on others' opinions or presence. Detachment isn't about pushing someone away, but about drawing closer to our own essence. By focusing on personal growth and becoming the best versions of ourselves, we free ourselves from the heavy weight of neediness. It's like nurturing a garden. You wouldn't beg a single flower to grow. Instead, you tend the soil, water the plants, and trust in the natural process. By focusing on self-improvement, we create a garden that blooms regardless of who walks by or admires it. This nurturing becomes a source of happiness that is independent, resilient, and deeply rewarding. So how do we navigate this path of emotional detachment? It starts with understanding that you are complete with or without someone else's affirmation. Your journey involves discovering the vast expanse of your own sky, learning to love the freedom that comes from flying solo when needed. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism. Focus on what's within your control, your thoughts, actions, and growth. This doesn't mean closing yourself off to love and connection. Instead, it means grounding your emotional stability in your own being. Remember, your self-worth isn't a puzzle missing someone else's piece. It's a masterpiece in progress, complete as it is, yet open to adding more beauty from the world around it. Rule number 6. Embrace the present moment. Do you often find yourself dwelling on past memories or worrying about the future? Embracing the present moment is a powerful way to achieve emotional detachment and find inner peace. Rooted deeply in Stoic philosophy, this practice encourages us to live fully in the now, appreciating the present rather than being consumed by what has been or what might be. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Confine yourself to the present." This advice underscores the importance of focusing on the here and now. When you focus on the past, you might relive painful experiences or cling to things that no longer exist. Similarly, worrying about the future can lead to unnecessary anxiety about events that haven't happened yet and might never occur. Both habits can prevent you from fully experiencing the richness of the present moment. Practicing mindfulness is an effective way to stay grounded in the present. Mindfulness involves paying close attention to your current experience without judgment. It means fully engaging in whatever you're doing, whether it's eating a meal, taking a walk, or having a conversation. Notice the details: the taste of your food, the feeling of the ground under your feet, the tone of the other person's voice. By immersing yourself in these experiences, you anchor yourself in the present, which can help reduce attachment to the past or future. Mindful activities can significantly enhance your ability to stay present. Meditation, for example, trains your mind to focus on the here and now. Even simple breathing exercises can bring your attention back to the present moment. Try to set aside a few minutes each day for these practices. Over time, you'll find that you're less distracted by past regrets or future worries. Living in the present also involves appreciating what you have right now. Cultivate gratitude for the small moments and simple pleasures in your life. Shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have can transform your perspective, making it easier to let go of attachments that weigh you down. By embracing the present moment, you build a foundation of emotional stability and clarity. This practice helps you navigate life's challenges with a calm and focused mind, allowing you to experience life more fully and joyfully. Rule number 7. Reframe your thoughts. Reframing your thoughts, a path to emotional independence. Reframing your thoughts is an immensely potent tool in the quest for emotional detachment and psychological resilience. At its core, reframing involves altering the way you perceive and interpret experiences, which can profoundly shift your emotional responses and your overall outlook on life. This concept, deeply embedded in Stoic philosophy, reflects a fundamental truth about the nature of our emotional experiences. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, as Marcus Aurelius insightfully observed. By understanding and applying this principle, you can begin to transform your emotional landscape and cultivate a more balanced, autonomous state of being. The power of perception. Our perceptions significantly influence how we experience the world. The way we interpret events, situations, and interactions can either perpetuate a state of emotional dependency or foster a sense of independence and strength. Reframing involves consciously changing the narratives we tell ourselves about our experiences. When faced with challenging or negative situations, our initial responses are often colored by ingrained patterns of thinking, which can lead to a cycle of emotional distress. For instance, if you find yourself fixated on the belief that "I can't live without this person," you create a psychological dependency that reinforces feelings of helplessness and insecurity. This belief traps you in a cycle of neediness and prevents you from recognizing your own inner resources and capabilities. Reframing this thought might involve acknowledging that while this person may play a significant role in your life, your sense of self-worth and happiness ultimately stems from within. By shifting your perspective, you begin to break free from the notion that your well-being is entirely dependent on external factors. Identifying and challenging negative thought patterns. The first step in reframing your thoughts is identifying the negative thought patterns that keep you tethered to feelings of dependency and inadequacy. These thoughts often manifest as rigid beliefs or automatic reactions that arise in response to various situations. Common examples include, "I'll never find someone else." This thought reflects a belief that the current relationship or situation is irreplaceable, which can lead to a sense of despair and resignation. Reframing this belief involves recognizing that while finding a meaningful connection may take time, it is entirely possible. Your worth is not contingent on a single relationship, but on the broader spectrum of human experiences and connections you can build. My happiness depends on them. This thought suggests that your emotional well-being is entirely dependent on the actions or presence of another person. Reframing this belief involves understanding that while relationships and external circumstances can contribute to your happiness, the core of your emotional resilience lies within yourself. Developing a sense of self-sufficiency and recognizing the role of personal agency in shaping your happiness is crucial for emotional independence. I can't be happy without them. This thought reinforces the idea that another person holds the key to your happiness, which can lead to a sense of vulnerability and dependence. Reframing this belief involves exploring and nurturing sources of joy and fulfillment that are intrinsic to your own life, rather than relying solely on external validation. To effectively challenge and reframe these negative thought patterns, it is helpful to engage in reflective practices such as journaling or mindfulness. By documenting your thoughts and analyzing their underlying assumptions, you can gain greater insight into the beliefs that drive your emotional responses. This process allows you to question and test the validity of these beliefs, ultimately leading to a more nuanced and empowering perspective. Practical strategies for reframing thoughts. Reframing is not merely an intellectual exercise. It requires practical strategies and consistent practice to effect meaningful change in your emotional life. Here are some effective techniques for reframing negative thoughts. Question the evidence. When you encounter a negative thought, ask yourself, what evidence supports this belief? And what evidence contradicts it? For example, if you believe "I'll never find someone else," consider the various relationships and connections you've had in the past. Reflect on instances where you successfully formed new bonds or found happiness in unexpected places. By examining the evidence, you can challenge the validity of your negative beliefs. Seek alternative perspectives. Look for alternative ways to interpret the situation. If you feel that my happiness depends on them, consider how other factors or sources of fulfillment contribute to your well-being. Reflect on your personal interests, hobbies, and accomplishments that bring you joy and satisfaction. By broadening your perspective, you can develop a more balanced view of your emotional landscape. Practice self-compassion. Reframing thoughts involves cultivating a compassionate and understanding attitude toward yourself. Recognize that it is natural to experience negative emotions and that these feelings do not define your worth or potential. Treat yourself with kindness and patience, as you work through challenging thoughts and beliefs. Self-compassion helps create a supportive internal environment for personal growth and emotional resilience. Engage in positive affirmations. Incorporate positive affirmations into your daily routine to reinforce empowering beliefs and counteract negative thoughts. For example, replace the belief, "I can't live without this person," with an affirmation such as, "I am resilient and capable of finding joy and fulfillment in my own life." Repeating these affirmations helps shift your mindset and reinforce a sense of self-efficacy. Visualize success and well-being. Visualization techniques can be a powerful tool for reframing thoughts and enhancing emotional resilience. Spend time imagining scenarios where you successfully navigate challenges and achieve your goals. Visualize yourself experiencing happiness and fulfillment independent of external factors. This practice helps reinforce a sense of self-empowerment and cultivates a positive outlook on life. The Stoic perspective on emotional independence. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy that emphasizes rationality and virtue, offers valuable insights into the practice of reframing thoughts. According to Stoic principles, our emotional responses are shaped by our judgments and beliefs about external events, rather than the events themselves. By altering our judgments and focusing on what is within our control, we can cultivate a state of inner tranquility and resilience. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher, taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This perspective underscores the importance of reframing our thoughts and interpretations of events. By adopting a Stoic mindset, you can develop a greater sense of control over your emotional responses and foster a more balanced and resilient outlook on life. Embracing the journey of reframing. Reframing your thoughts is an ongoing journey that requires patience, self-awareness, and practice. As you work through negative thought patterns and cultivate a more empowering perspective, you will gradually experience greater emotional independence and resilience. By adopting practical strategies and drawing on philosophical insights, you can transform your relationship with your thoughts and create a more fulfilling and balanced life. Our thoughts have a profound impact on our emotions and behaviors. Negative thoughts, often referred to as cognitive distortions, can distort our perception of reality and influence how we feel and act. These thoughts can range from self-critical judgments to catastrophic predictions about the future. The first step in addressing these thoughts is to recognize that they are not always grounded in truth. Negative thoughts often arise from a place of fear or insecurity, and they tend to be automatic. For instance, after a breakup, you might find yourself thinking, "I'll never be happy again," or "I'm not worthy of love." These thoughts can be so automatic and ingrained that they seem like absolute truths, even though they are based on subjective interpretations and not objective facts. Questioning the validity of negative thoughts. To challenge these negative thoughts, start by examining their validity. Ask yourself questions like, is this thought absolutely true? What evidence do I have to support this belief? Are there any counterexamples or situations where this thought doesn't hold true? By critically evaluating your thoughts, you may discover that many of them are exaggerated or unfounded. For example, the thought, "I'll never find someone else," might be based on a recent painful experience rather than an objective reality. Reflecting on past relationships or observing the relationships of others might reveal that love and connection are indeed possible and likely in the future. 3. Replacing negative thoughts with positive alternatives. Once you've challenged the validity of your negative thoughts, the next step is to replace them with positive or neutral alternatives. This process is known as cognitive restructuring. For instance, instead of thinking, "I can't live without this person," Reframe it to, I am capable of finding happiness and fulfillment on my own. Swap, I'll never find someone else with, there are many opportunities for love and connection in my future. These new thoughts should reflect a more balanced and empowering perspective. They acknowledge the difficulty of the situation, but also recognize your own strengths and the potential for positive outcomes. 4. Practicing daily affirmations. To reinforce these new thought patterns, integrate daily affirmations into your routine. Affirmations are positive statements that can help shift your mindset and foster a sense of self-worth and capability. Here's how you can create and use affirmations effectively. Write down positive statements. Identify affirmations that resonate with you and reflect the new beliefs you want to cultivate. For example, I'm strong and resilient and I can handle life's challenges. Or, I am worthy of love and capable of creating fulfilling relationships. Read them aloud. Repeating these affirmations out loud helps reinforce them in your mind. It can also help you internalize the positive beliefs more deeply. Visualize the affirmations. As you say each affirmation, visualize yourself embodying these positive traits or achieving these goals. This visualization can enhance the impact of the affirmations. Over time, these daily affirmations can help rewire your brain to adopt a more positive outlook, making it easier to overcome negative thoughts and build emotional resilience. 5. Integrating mindfulness techniques. Mindfulness is another powerful tool that can support your efforts to reframe your thoughts. Mindfulness involves paying attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. It allows you to observe your thought patterns objectively, which can be crucial in identifying and challenging negative thoughts. Here's how you can incorporate mindfulness into your thought reframing practice. Practice meditation. Spend a few minutes each day meditating to calm your mind and increase your awareness of your thought patterns. Meditation helps you detach from negative thoughts and view them from a more objective perspective. Observe without judgment. When a negative thought arises, observe it without immediately reacting. Notice how it makes you feel and recognize it as a passing thought rather than an absolute truth. Focus on the present moment. Mindfulness helps you stay grounded in the present moment, reducing the tendency to ruminate on past regrets or future anxieties. This shift in focus can help you manage negative thoughts more effectively. Embracing reframing as an ongoing practice. Reframing your thoughts is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing practice. It involves consistently challenging and altering your negative beliefs to build emotional resilience and gain greater control over your reactions. Consider reframing as a skill that you can develop and refine over time. Just as physical exercise strengthens your body, mental exercises like reframing strengthen your emotional resilience. Regular practice will help you respond to challenges with greater confidence and clarity. 7. Building emotional resilience and inner strength. By continuously engaging in the process of challenging and reframing negative thoughts, you foster a sense of inner strength and emotional resilience. This shift in mindset empowers you to face life's challenges with a more balanced perspective and a greater sense of self-efficacy. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and adapt to difficult situations. Reframing negative thoughts contributes to this resilience by helping you maintain a positive outlook and reduce the emotional impact of challenges. Moreover, building emotional resilience through thought reframing can lead to improved mental health and overall well-being. It enhances your ability to cope with stress, makes you more adaptable to change, and fosters a greater sense of fulfillment and happiness. Rule number 8. Set healthy boundaries. Navigating the art of setting boundaries. A path to emotional resilience and self-worth. In a world that often demands our constant engagement, It's not uncommon to find ourselves grappling with the difficulty of saying no or establishing clear limits with others. This struggle can be particularly intense when the fear of disappointing someone or facing potential conflict looms large. Yet, setting healthy boundaries is not just an optional aspect of emotional health. It is a fundamental practice essential for maintaining emotional detachment and overall well-being. The significance of boundaries. Boundaries are like invisible lines that define where one person ends and another begins. They delineate our personal space, emotional territory, and psychological comfort zones. These boundaries help us maintain a sense of self, ensuring that we are not overly influenced by external factors or overwhelmed by others' needs and expectations. To understand the importance of setting boundaries, consider them as the walls of a house. Just as a house needs walls to create distinct rooms and protect its inhabitants, personal boundaries are necessary to delineate our emotional and psychological space. Without these boundaries, we risk becoming enmeshed in others' issues, losing sight of our own needs, and experiencing stress and dissatisfaction. The psychological benefits of boundaries. Establishing and respecting boundaries offers several psychological benefits. Firstly, it helps us maintain emotional detachment. Emotional detachment is not about being cold or indifferent, but about preserving our mental and emotional health. By clearly defining what behaviors are acceptable and what are not, we protect ourselves from unnecessary stress and emotional strain. When we set boundaries, we send a message to ourselves and others that we are in control of our own emotional space. This act reinforces our self-worth and reduces our dependence on others for validation or happiness. It reminds us that we are worthy of respect and that our needs and feelings are important. Identifying and communicating boundaries. The first step in setting effective boundaries is identifying what is acceptable and what isn't. This process involves self-reflection and understanding our limits. It requires an honest assessment of our emotional triggers, stressors, and the behaviors of others that impact our well-being. For instance, if a colleague's constant interruptions during work hours disturb your focus, it's crucial to recognize that this behavior infringes upon your productivity and mental peace. Once you've identified your boundaries, the next step is to communicate them clearly and assertively. Communication is key to ensuring that your boundaries are understood and respected. This doesn't mean you need to be harsh or confrontational. Rather, it involves expressing your needs in a respectful and straightforward manner. For example, if you need quiet time to work, you might say, "I need to focus on this project without interruptions. Can we schedule a time to discuss this later?" This approach is firm yet respectful, conveying your needs while maintaining a positive tone. The role of boundaries in emotional autonomy. Setting boundaries is a crucial aspect of fostering emotional autonomy. Emotional autonomy refers to the ability to manage and regulate our own emotional states independently of external influences. When we have clear boundaries, we are better equipped to maintain our emotional equilibrium and resist being unduly affected by others' behaviors or opinions. Consider a situation where a friend repeatedly calls you late at night, disrupting your rest. By setting a boundary and explaining that you need to unwind in the evenings, you protect your well-being and preserve your emotional autonomy. This practice not only prevents unnecessary stress, but also helps you remain centered and grounded in your own emotional space. Practical strategies for setting boundaries. Self-awareness and reflection. Begin by reflecting on your emotional needs and limits. Understand what causes you stress or discomfort, and identify the behaviors that infringe upon your well-being. Clear and assertive communication. Once you've identified your boundaries, communicate them clearly and assertively. Use I statements to express your needs and feelings, such as, I need some quiet time to work on my project, rather than, you're always interrupting me. Consistency. Be consistent in enforcing your boundaries. Consistency helps reinforce your limits and ensures that they are respected over time. Respect for others' boundaries. Just as you expect others to respect your boundaries, it's important to honor theirs as well. This mutual respect fosters healthier and more balanced relationships. Self-care and reflection. Regularly review and adjust your boundaries as needed. Self-care practices, such as mindfulness and journaling, can help you stay attuned to your emotional needs and boundaries. The impact of boundaries on relationships. Establishing boundaries is not just about protecting ourselves, it also has a positive impact on our relationships. Healthy boundaries promote mutual respect and understanding. They prevent misunderstandings and conflicts by clarifying expectations and ensuring that both parties are aware of each other's limits. For example, if you and a partner have different needs regarding personal space, discussing and setting boundaries around this can prevent feelings of resentment or neglect. By openly communicating and respecting each other's needs, you build a stronger, more harmonious relationship. Boundary setting as a form of self-respect. At its core, setting boundaries is a profound expression of self-respect. It is a declaration that you value yourself and your needs. When you honor your boundaries, you convey to yourself and others that you are worthy of respect and consideration. This practice reinforces your self-worth and fosters a sense of empowerment. Setting boundaries is a vital practice for cultivating healthier and more fulfilling relationships, and it's a skill that grows more crucial over time. By consistently establishing clear limits, you're not just defining the parameters of how you interact with others. You're actively shaping a life that honors your own needs, values, and well-being. When you set boundaries, you take a proactive stance toward emotional independence. This means you're not allowing your peace of mind to hinge on the actions, behaviors, or approval of others. Instead, you're fortifying your internal sense of stability and security. Just as a fence around a garden helps protect and nurture the plants inside, your boundaries create a safe emotional space where you can flourish. This process involves recognizing what is acceptable to you and what isn't, and communicating these limits clearly and respectfully. It can mean saying no to demands that drain your energy, or establishing guidelines for how you expect to be treated. This isn't about building walls that isolate you. Rather, it's about setting healthy parameters that ensure mutual respect and understanding in your relationships. By maintaining these boundaries, you're not only safeguarding your emotional well-being, but also inviting others to engage with you in a more respectful and considerate manner. This clarity fosters an environment where both parties can thrive, reducing the likelihood of misunderstandings and conflicts. It creates a foundation of trust and respect that can enhance the quality of your interactions and deepen your connections. Moreover, when you are clear about your limits, you free up mental and emotional energy that can be redirected towards personal growth and self-improvement. Without the constant stress of negotiating or managing others' expectations, you have more space to focus on your own goals, passions, and well-being. This shift can lead to a more fulfilling and balanced life, where you are better equipped to pursue your aspirations and maintain a strong sense of self. Rule number 9. Engage in self-care. Self-care is often discussed in contemporary wellness circles, but its principles have been deeply rooted in philosophical traditions for centuries. The idea of self-care is not just a modern trend, but a timeless practice essential for achieving a balanced and fulfilling life. To explore the depths of self-care, we must consider its multifaceted nature, encompassing physical health, mental well-being, emotional stability, and spiritual nourishment. The essence of self-care. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, articulated a profound truth when he stated, A sound mind in a sound body is a short but full description of a happy state in this world. This quote encapsulates the holistic nature of self-care. Seneca's emphasis on the interconnectedness of mental and physical health reflects a broader understanding of well-being that integrates various aspects of human experience. Self-care involves prioritizing activities that nourish not just one's body, but also the mind and spirit. This comprehensive approach acknowledges that our overall health is influenced by how we manage stress, maintain relationships, and pursue personal interests. Physical self-care, the foundation of wellness. Physical self-care is often the most visible and tangible aspect of self-care. It includes activities that directly impact physical health and well-being. Exercise, for instance, is a cornerstone of physical self-care. Engaging in regular physical activity offers numerous benefits, from improving cardiovascular health to enhancing overall fitness. More than just physical benefits, exercise stimulates the release of endorphins, natural chemicals in the brain that act as mood lifters. This phenomenon, often referred to as the runner's high, illustrates how physical activity can lead to a more positive outlook and reduced feelings of anxiety and depression. Moreover, proper nutrition is a crucial element of physical self-care. Eating a balanced diet that includes a variety of nutrients supports bodily functions and energy levels. Foods rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants can enhance cognitive function and mood, while a well-hydrated body functions more efficiently. By prioritizing healthy eating habits, you can lay a strong foundation for overall well-being. Rest and sleep are equally vital components of physical self-care. Quality sleep allows the body to repair itself, supports cognitive functions, and contributes to emotional stability. Establishing a regular sleep routine, creating a restful environment, and avoiding stimulants before bedtime can improve the quality of your sleep. Mental self-care, cultivating clarity and resilience. Mental self-care involves practices that support cognitive functions and emotional regulation. Meditation and mindfulness are powerful tools in this regard. Meditation encourages the practice of focusing attention and achieving a state of mental calmness, which can significantly reduce stress levels. Mindfulness, on the other hand, involves being fully present in the moment and acknowledging one's thoughts and feelings without judgment. These practices can help clear the mind of clutter, enhance concentration, and foster a deeper understanding of oneself. Incorporating regular mental exercises, such as puzzles or learning new skills, can also be beneficial. Engaging in intellectually stimulating activities helps keep the mind sharp and agile. Furthermore, setting aside time for reflective practices, such as journaling, can provide insights into your thoughts and emotions, facilitating personal growth and self-awareness. Emotional self-care, nurturing inner peace. Emotional self-care focuses on maintaining emotional stability and resilience. Engaging in activities that bring joy and satisfaction is crucial. Hobbies and passions, whether it's painting, playing an instrument, or gardening, provide a sense of fulfillment and purpose. These activities offer an opportunity to express creativity and immerse oneself in experiences that are intrinsically rewarding. Additionally, managing stress through relaxation techniques is an essential aspect of emotional self-care. Deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and guided imagery are methods that can help alleviate tension and promote relaxation. By incorporating these techniques into your routine, you can better manage stress and maintain emotional balance. Spiritual self-care, finding meaning and connection. Spiritual self-care involves seeking a sense of meaning and connection beyond the physical and emotional realms. This aspect of self-care can be expressed through various practices, such as engaging in spiritual or religious activities, exploring philosophical teachings, or connecting with nature. These practices help individuals find purpose and align with their values. For some, spiritual self-care might involve participating in religious rituals or attending a place of worship. For others, it could mean spending time in nature, reflecting on philosophical texts, or engaging in acts of service. The common thread in these practices is the pursuit of a deeper sense of connection and understanding, which contributes to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Building strong relationships. The role of social connections. An often overlooked but crucial element of self-care is nurturing relationships with supportive loved ones. The quality of your social connections can significantly impact your overall well-being. Spending time with friends and family who provide encouragement, empathy, and understanding reinforces your sense of community and belonging. Positive social interactions can act as a buffer against stress and emotional challenges. Engaging in meaningful conversations, sharing experiences, and offering support to others create a network of mutual care and reinforcement. Building and maintaining these relationships contribute to emotional stability and a sense of interconnectedness. Balancing self-care and responsibility. While self-care is vital, it is also important to balance it with personal responsibilities and commitments. Self-care should not be seen as an indulgence, but as an essential practice that enhances your ability to meet life's challenges effectively. By taking care of yourself, you are better equipped to handle responsibilities and contribute positively to the lives of others. Creating a self-care routine that integrates various aspects of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being requires intentional effort and planning. It involves setting aside time for yourself, recognizing your needs, and prioritizing activities that support your overall health. Self-care is much more than a trend or a series of fleeting practices. It's a profound and essential commitment to nurturing one's own well-being. At its core, self-care involves establishing a balanced lifestyle that fortifies your mental, emotional, and physical health. This balanced approach acts as a foundation, enabling you to navigate the complexities and challenges of life with greater resilience and confidence. When you prioritize self-care, you engage in activities and routines that promote your overall wellness. This might include maintaining a healthy diet, exercising regularly, setting aside time for relaxation, or pursuing hobbies that bring you joy. These practices are not merely about pampering yourself, but about creating a sustainable lifestyle that supports your long-term health and happiness. One of the most profound benefits of self-care is the development of inner strength and self-assuredness. By investing in your own well-being, you cultivate a deep sense of self-worth and confidence. This doesn't mean that you become detached or indifferent to others. Rather, it allows you to engage with the world from a place of emotional stability and clarity. When you take care of yourself, you create a strong inner core that helps you remain centered even amidst external pressures and challenges. For example, imagine a person who regularly practices mindfulness and meditation as part of their self-care routine. These practices help them develop a heightened awareness of their thoughts and emotions, allowing them to respond to stressful situations with calm and perspective. This inner tranquility doesn't mean they are unaffected by life's difficulties, but rather that they handle them with a grounded and balanced approach. Moreover, self-care is an essential step in fostering an independent and fulfilling life. When you are attuned to your own needs and well-being, you are better equipped to make choices that align with your values and goals. This sense of independence is not about isolation or distancing yourself from others, but about having the strength to live authentically and make decisions that are true to yourself. Rule number 10. Practice gratitude. In our fast-paced and often demanding world, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of focusing on what we don't have. This mindset can leave us feeling perpetually unsatisfied and emotionally tangled with our desires. It's a common experience. We might find ourselves fixated on the absence of a desired relationship, a missing achievement, or an unfulfilled dream. This preoccupation with what's lacking can inadvertently deepen our emotional attachment to these absences, creating a sense of longing that can be both consuming and disheartening. However, there's a powerful antidote to this cycle of dissatisfaction: the practice of gratitude. Embracing gratitude is not merely about being polite or acknowledging good things in our lives. It is a profound shift in perspective that can profoundly alter our emotional state and overall sense of fulfillment. By actively focusing on the positive aspects of our lives, we can shift our mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. This shift not only enhances our emotional well-being, but also helps us detach more healthily from what we don't have, creating a more balanced and fulfilling life experience. The scarcity mentality versus the abundance mentality. At the core of this discussion is the concept of the scarcity mentality versus the abundance mentality. The scarcity mentality is rooted in the belief that there is a limited amount of good to go around. When we adopt this mindset, we are constantly measuring ourselves against what we lack. This approach fosters feelings of inadequacy and comparison as we continuously strive to acquire or achieve more to fill perceived gaps in our lives. On the other hand, the abundance mentality is based on the belief that there is enough goodness and opportunity for everyone. When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus from what's missing to what's already present and fulfilling. This change in perspective allows us to appreciate and value the abundance that already exists in our lives, creating a more positive and contented outlook. The power of gratitude practice. Practicing gratitude is a deliberate and conscious effort to acknowledge and appreciate the positive elements in our lives. It can take many forms, from verbal expressions of thanks to more structured practices, such as journaling. One effective method is to write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. This practice doesn't have to be complex or elaborate. It can be as simple as noting a sunny day, a supportive friend, or a delicious meal. The act of regularly identifying and recording what we are grateful for helps to retrain our brains to focus on the positive rather than the negative. Over time, this practice can lead to a significant shift in how we perceive our lives. Instead of feeling deprived or envious of what others have, we start to recognize and appreciate the richness of our own experiences. Real-world example: the journey of gratitude. Consider the story of Sarah, a young professional who felt overwhelmed by her career ambitions and personal aspirations. She often found herself preoccupied with what she didn't have: a promotion, a larger social circle, or a more fulfilling relationship. This constant focus on her perceived deficiencies left her feeling anxious and unsatisfied, despite the many positives in her life. Encouraged by a friend, Sarah decided to start a gratitude journal. Each day, she took a few moments to write down 3 things she was grateful for. At first, it felt like a chore, but over time, she began to notice a change in her outlook. Simple things like a compliment from a colleague, a quiet moment to herself, or a productive workday became sources of joy and appreciation. As Sarah continued this practice, she found herself less fixated on what was missing and more appreciative of what she had. Her relationships improved, her stress levels decreased, and she felt more fulfilled overall. This shift in perspective was not instantaneous, but it was transformative. By focusing on her current blessings, Sarah was able to cultivate a sense of abundance and contentment, which in turn allowed her to pursue her goals with greater clarity and satisfaction. Epicurus's wisdom. The philosopher Epicurus, known for his teachings on happiness and contentment, offered valuable insight into this practice of gratitude. He famously said, "Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not." Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. This quote encapsulates the essence of gratitude. It's about recognizing and valuing the present moment rather than yearning for what might be out of reach. 𝐿 wisdom reminds us that our current blessings were once our aspirations. This perspective helps us to see the value in what we already possess, rather than constantly chasing after new desires. By acknowledging and appreciating our present circumstances, we can find contentment and joy in our current reality. The science behind gratitude research supports the notion that practicing gratitude can have profound psychological and physiological benefits. Studies have shown that individuals who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress and depression, improved sleep quality, and enhanced overall well-being. Gratitude has been linked to increased levels of happiness, better relationships, and greater life satisfaction. One study published in the journal Emotion found that participants who kept a gratitude journal reported higher levels of positive emotions and overall life satisfaction compared to those who did not. Another study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that practicing gratitude can enhance social connections and increase feelings of social support. These findings underscore the practical benefits of incorporating gratitude into our daily lives. It's not just a theoretical concept, but a tangible practice that can lead to real, measurable improvements in our emotional and psychological health. Cultivating a grateful mindset. To make gratitude a consistent part of your life, consider integrating it into your daily routine. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to reflect on and record the things you are grateful for. This could be done in a dedicated journal, a digital note, or even through verbal expression with a friend or loved one. It's also helpful to practice mindfulness and presence. By being fully engaged in the present moment, you can better appreciate the small, everyday blessings that might otherwise go unnoticed. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, and take time to savor these experiences. Additionally, expressing gratitude to others can strengthen relationships and foster a sense of connection. Take the time to thank those who have positively impacted your life and let them know how much their presence and support mean to you. Conclusion. The practice of gratitude is a powerful tool for shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have. By cultivating a mindset of abundance, we can enhance our emotional well-being and create a more fulfilling and contented life. Through simple daily practices, such as keeping a gratitude journal and acknowledging the positive aspects of our lives, we can transform our perspective and find joy in the present moment. As Epicurus wisely advised, let us cherish and appreciate what we have, recognizing that our current blessings were once our deepest hopes and desires. Practicing gratitude not only enhances your emotional well-being, but also creates a buffer against the pain of detachment. As you make gratitude a habit, you'll find it easier to let go of attachments that no longer serve you, leading to a more peaceful and contented life.